This practice has no place in our culture, it has no place in our religion, it has no place anywhere in Nigeria and generally even on the African continent.
The outsiders cannot dictate to us. This is our country, this is our society, this is our future. It is not anybody's future. And the outsiders will have to live with us, or if they don't want, they take their aid and we shall. Uganda is very rich, we don't need aid. In fact, aid is part of the problem.
I want to be very clear, Christian. I will not engage in a subject that is of it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue, as you would want to put it, of human rights. This is an issue of society.
I don't know if I understood what you just asked, but I guess I understand. I have understood. But LGBT
homosexuality.
Yes. It hasn't been our problem.
Hello, welcome to Reactions and Reviews. I'm your humble host, Eze. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Parliament's approval was the last time anything was heard about what is formally known as the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act until January 13th, when President Goodluck Jonathan signed the bill into law. The law bans same-sex marriage and calls for jail terms up to 14 years for gay couples who try to marry or create a civil union. It also bans gay clubs, associations, and other public display of same-sex affection, punishable by 10 years in prison.
David Cameron warned last year the UK would review its massive aid program if the country pressed ahead with legislation that includes a 10-year jail sentence for gay men holding hands in public.
I'm a big believer in marriage. It helps people to commit to each other, and I think that that's why gay people should be able to get married too. And in the end, that's what this is about, saying this is a great institution. Don't stop gay people getting married, allow them to do that, and society will be stronger as a result. So I respect the opinions of others, but this is a good step forward for our country, and I'm proud that this government's taking it.
This practice has no place in our culture, it has no place in our religion, it has no place anywhere in Nigeria and generally even on the African continent.
Any Western nation that so feel that they don't like us passing this bill, that becomes a business. We don't need even AIDS in Nigeria.
Initially, when I heard about it, I thought the Western world would so much pressurize us to bow to it. But hearing that the president signed against it, in fact, it's a kudos. I'm very glad that it could stand its feet and stand against such a taboo. Because, it's on African. We don't want such thing in our country. I'm so happy that he signed against it.
He did the right thing because that's gay is uncalled for. So signing against it is the right thing to do for every normal woman being. So that's just what I feel about it. We have done the right thing, and whosoever feel that what he did was wrong, let's go to places, but he did the right thing.
If you made it this far, hit that like button and leave a comment to trigger YouTube's algorithm. I'm a new channel and I'm trying to grow. So hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to let you know every time I upload a new video. And here's what people don't understand. Once their community penetrates an African country, the next thing is coming is feminism, which they are already also pushing for that in Africa. Right after that, television and movies and commercials are next. They will start promoting that lifestyle through movies, through TV shows, commercials, billboards. And then next, they will start going into the schools and start going after African kids. That's a no-no. And that is why Africans are so against it. It is very, very dangerous in Africa because Africa is a continent that believes in family. Husband, wife, and children.
One of the major issues, and it's a holdover from sort of colonial Victorian, is the issue of sexual preference in many African countries. In Kenya, to be gay, the LGBT community is illegal. They just want to have equal rights, the same privacy and equality as all other Kenyans do.
I want to be very clear, Christiana. I will not engage in a subject that is of it is not of any major importance to the people and the Republic of Kenya. This is not an issue, as you would want to put it, of human rights or this. This is an issue of society, of our own base as a culture, as a people, regardless of which community you come from. This is not about Uhuru Kenyatta saying yes or no. This is an issue that the people of Kenya themselves, who have bestowed upon themselves a constitution, right, after several years, have clearly stated that this is not a subject that they are willing to engage in, at this time and moment. In years to come, possibly long after I'm president, who knows?
Why is it
I am saying
to you,
that it is not important to me as the leader of 49 million Kenyans. And after, if you want to ask me my personal opinion,
what is your personal opinion?
After I finish my process, I can talk about my personal opinion. But as the leader of the people of the Republic of Kenya, I represent that which our people are desirous to be.
Would you publicly say that people who are LGBT, gay members of the Kenyan population should not be discriminated against, should not be violated, should not be abused?
No Kenyan should be abused, should be, mistreated in any particular. Every Kenyan is protected by law.
For America, though, gay rights is a big issue. For Barack Obama, too. He has openly criticized African countries such as Uganda and Nigeria that have brought in tough laws against homosexuals. Many in Nairobi are expecting Obama to talk about homosexuality this week, an issue that quickly raises temperatures here.
Because what we know, marriage is between a man and a woman. So the issue of gayism, it may be the influence or the ideas of the West.
I've been consistent all across Africa on this. I believe in the principle of treating people equally under the law, and that they are deserving of equal protection under the law, and that the state should not discriminate against people based on their sexual orientation. And I say that recognizing that there may be people who have different religious or cultural beliefs, but the issue is, how does the state operate relative to people?
The fact of the matter is that Kenya, the United States, we share so many values. Our common love for democracy, entrepreneurship, value for families. These are things that we share. But there are some things that we must admit we don't share. Our culture, our societies don't accept. It's very difficult for us to be able to impose on people that which they themselves do not accept. This is why I repeatedly say that for Kenyans today, the issue of gay rights is really a non-issue. We want to focus on other areas that are day-to-day living for our people.
We should read the provisions of Article 45 of the Constitution. First, it places the family at the very heart of the society. In fact, what it says is that the family is the fundamental unit of the society. At sub-article 2 of Article 45, it says only people of opposite gender can marry one another. And that is the law of Kenya.
He has hit headlines across the world following his decision to assent into law the controversial anti-gay bill that imposes stiff penalties for homosexuals in Uganda. But even as citizens there celebrate the move, President Yoweri Museveni's government is now facing repercussions as countries that had been opposed to the law are making good their threat to cut links.
We will continue to urge the government of Uganda to repeal this abhorrent law and to advocate for the protection of the universal human rights of LGBT persons in Uganda and around the world. What I can tell you about steps the United States might take in response is that we are undertaking a review of our relationship with Uganda in light of this decision.
The outsiders cannot dictate to us. This is our country, this is our society, it is our future. It is not anybody's future. And the outsiders will have to live with us, or if they don't want, they take their aid and we shall. Uganda is very rich, we don't need aid. In fact, aid is part of the problem.
Uganda, I don't know your president, but he make me proud to be an African. I don't know your president, but he make me proud to be an African. This is what we need. This is the type of leader we need. We don't need cowards as leaders. We don't need cowards as leaders. This is what we need. Mr. President, I salute you. Who the hell is United States? Dear United States, you want to go to hell? Go ahead, go to hell. You want to put your children in bondage? Go ahead, put your children in bondage. We don't care. But do not come to Africa and ask us to put our children, our generation in bondage because of an abomination. You can live how you want to live. Don't bring it to Africa.
What I can tell you about steps the United States might take in response is that we are undertaking a review of our relationship with Uganda in light of this decision.
Man, I tell you what, man. I love my country. I love the country that I live in. Been an American citizen my entire life. I love the people. But I don't love the government, and I see the government for what it is. Many people are starting to see the tear down from within inside our own government, and they don't even take care of their people. And they think that they can go into other nations with their extremist ideology and be the big bad bully and is going to dictate to other nations how they're going to live and do things in their country. And if they don't abide and listen to them, they're going to remove things from them. That's the definition of communism. And a lot of things that are being revealed about what our government has done in many, many other nations, including the Middle East, what's happening with Russia and all these other places, as you see nations separating from America, the crumble happening, and judgment is upon America. I stand with you, Uganda. I stand for everybody's God-given right. I pray for your president that he may be blessed, protected, that you guys are protected, and know that there are citizens inside of America that also stand with you too. And praise be to God for people like your president that stands up for the rights of people to protect your people from this wicked ideology that is spreading and corrupting America's society. And don't worry, they don't really care about anybody. They're tearing us down over here too.
We're certainly watching this real closely, and we would have to take a look at whether or not there might be repercussions that we would have to take perhaps in an economic way should this law actually get passed and enacted. We'll have to take a look. No decisions. We're watching this very, very closely, and hopefully it won't pass and we won't have to do anything.
Okay, first of all, let's get this straight. United States, USA, whatever the f*** you guys call yourself, you cannot go around the f***ing world and start bullying people to do stuff because you guys are okay with all this bullshit and nonsense. Africa is not your f***ing country. If you want to accept all this LGBTQ stuff going on here, that's fine. That is fine. That don't give you the rights to go try to bully other country to do the same f***ing shit. There are culture in Africa. And that culture they want to keep. I know you guys don't understand nothing about culture, but it's okay. Keep your people in your country. If you don't like it, the way they are ruling their government, don't go there. Do not go there. Simple as ABC. You cannot bully the Uganda president, the Liberian president, to legalize LGBTQ. Legalize LGBTQ for what? For what?
Yo, who the hell do we think we are telling another country that they need to legalize homosexuality or we're not going to give them aid? What kind of backwards ass society do we live in? The nerve of us pushing our weight around to take Western values and push them on other countries. It's okay that you choose to have a same-sex relationship. That's totally fine. That's not what this is about. But when we overstep our boundaries to start saying, hey, by the way, if you also don't legalize it and accept it, we're not going to help you anymore. Yo, man, we've got bigger issues, man, and we just continue to keep pushing our weight around. This is pissing me off.
I have raised this issue, and let me be clear about where we stand. First of all, for the American press who are here, you know that a great deal of work in my career has been to address human rights issues, equality issues across the board, including as it relates to the LGBT community. And I feel very strongly about the importance of supporting the freedom and supporting and fighting for equality among all people, and that all people be treated equally. I will also say that this is an issue that we consider, and I consider, to be a human rights issue, and that will not change.
So the United States and Western nations are actively trying to bully African countries into accepting the whole LGBTQ lifestyle and legalizing marriage and whatnot for those countries. And a lot of these African countries and their leaders are coming back and saying, that's not our society. Please don't try to push that agenda on our people. And yet now the United States is threatening to withhold aid as if we don't already rob the continent of Africa as a Western nation because they don't want to accept this lifestyle. I remember when people were saying that if you call what is being pushed an agenda, that you are a bigot. But to me, if you decide that you want to go into a sovereign nation and push any type of lifestyle that they're not willing to accept, not only is that an agenda that you have to formulate, but it's a form of colonization. And that's what this is to me.
I do have one question to ask America and anyone else that's supporting or feel that America is doing the right thing. Kamala Harris went over to a different country and tried to force them to do what's against their culture, their tradition, and their laws. Now imagine if, let's say, someone from the Nigerian embassy goes to the White House, got on a microphone, and start telling Americans they need to start practicing or they need to legalize polygamy. And if America does not legalize polygamy, Nigerians will cut them off with the oil. How do you think America or Americans will respond to that? Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
We are making this law for our children. We are making this law for the children of our children. This country will stand firm. And once it passed, I can tell you, Madam Speaker, we are going to reinforce the law enforcement officers to make sure that homosexuals have no space in Uganda.
That will wrap it up for today's episode. And thank you for joining me. So please leave a comment below. If you agree, if you disagree, it doesn't matter. Leave the comment below. And also, you tell me what you want me to cover. You tell me what you want me to discuss and what you want me to react to. Okay? And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you on the next episode. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's rebuild the Black nuclear family. It is needed. Okay? God bless.